Everybody, I'm Emmanuel Dannug. I'm a second-year student at Wayne State University, and I'm here to talk to you guys about Philippians 1, 19-30, which is our passage for today. So I think the biggest thing that Paul's trying to do in this chapter is really point the church, point us towards Jesus Christ and his salvation. And the first instance I see of that is right at the beginning, when it says, "I will rejoice, for I know that through your prayers and the help of the Spirit of Jesus Christ, this will turn out for my deliverance." And he goes on to say that he's full of expectation and hope, that he's not going to be ashamed, and that, as always has been the pattern in his life, that Christ is going to be honored in his body, whether by life or by death. So when he says this will turn out for my deliverance, he's actually talking about his circumstances. And we know that he's imprisoned and that he's never really delivered from prison. He actually gets shuffled around a lot, and eventually he ends up in front of Caesar, who's the ruler of the Western world, and he testifies and preaches the gospel to him, and then he's executed. And so when he talks about deliverance, he's not talking about deliverance from circumstances. He's actually talking about deliverance being worked out in his heart and salvation being worked out in a deeper level in his heart. And he actually touches on this later in the chapter. At verse 28, he says, "Not frightened in anything by your opponents. This is a clear sign to them of their destruction, but of your salvation, and that from God." So what I see in this is that a fruit of salvation is not being frightened in front of our opponents. And our opponents aren't flesh and blood. They're actually principalities and powers, as it says in Ephesians 6. And so that's really what that means, is like anything that is, any voice in your head, any voice that's from culture, from media, that's trying to make you frightened and pull you away from Jesus. And the solution for that isn't to stuff it, isn't to take that fear, that anxiety that you're feeling and stuff it, but really to bring it to God, because there is salvation for you, and there's salvation from God. There's also help from the Spirit of Jesus Christ. And, in Hebrews 7:25, he says, he always lives to make intercession for them. That's Jesus. Jesus always lives to make intercession for us. And so I really exhort you guys, look to Jesus, look to salvation, look for salvation, because it's there for you and it's available.